People are not very happy about what's going on around the world, especially the Aussies.
So about 10 years ago, Australia invested about $120 million into early stage companies.
These are some more Australian businesses that I think are going to go bankrupt within the next 5 years.
Has it just become normal to feel poor in Australia?
I used to consider Dior and Chanel luxury, not fucking eggs.
When people earning over $200,000 are still feeling the pinch.
Taxes are absolutely insane. You're paying about 45% on your business.
Moved regional to try and save money, and there's no jobs out here.
35% of Australians have less than $1,000 in their bank account.
The question was put to me, why are so many building companies going broke in Australia right now?
In their full-time job, they've got a couple of side hustles, and they still can't
to splurge on things that we used to consider just, normal purchases. Like, I used to consider Dior and Chanel luxury, not fucking eggs.
Did anyone else get absolutely done by this? Like, what a ridiculous thing to have happen, that the OSCO system there's just an outage, which the majority of Australian banks use to facilitate payments. Absolutely mental. Did you guys get hit with this? I personally didn't. But it's enormously frustrating. And the other thing is, someone down the bottom was like, the bank was saying, "Oh, just try it again." So you're sending someone like $1,000 and they're like, just give it another go. I'm sure it'll be fine. I probably wouldn't do that.
Australia's become an absolute joke. You can't afford to rent anymore. The rent prices of the apartment that we were staying at was $450 a week. It jumped up to $780. You can't afford a mortgage. We ended up buying a house, right? Can't afford the mortgage because the rates are too high. You can't afford shopping because Coles and Woolies dominate the market. What's going on? Your taxes are absolutely insane. You're paying about 45% on your business. And it's not too much fun. I think we've got 1 week, maybe 2 weeks left of our mortgage repayments and then we're bankrupt. I've lost over $3 million since COVID. Thanks, Aussie government. We love you.
All I've been posting about the last week is the cost of living, but I was just out doing my weekly grocery shop, made fucking $8,000 today and pretty much spent it fucking all. But as I was checking out, bro, security got fucking called over. I'm like, what the fuck? And the chick next to me, bro, no word of a fucking lie, asked to empty all her bags, and bro, there was like enough food to feed fucking half the nation. Look, although she was doing the wrong thing, I genuinely felt bad for her, bro. Like, she didn't look like that much of a dodgy cunt. I'm not gonna lie, probably a straight A student. But that's literally just what Australia's gotten to at this point. It's genuinely sad, bro, that people like that have to feel the need to shoplift and steal just to be able to fucking eat. It's like, it's been like this for years now, and it's not getting any better. If anything, it's got worse. Like, when the fuck is something gonna change? Speak about that, look at the fucking fuel prices.
These are some more Australian businesses that I think are going to go bankrupt within the next 5 years. Hear me out. Lorna Jane. I don't know anyone that is still buying from there. Their stuff is so overpriced and there's so many better activewear brands out there. QBD, the bookstore, just with like the boom in audiobooks these days, they're not going to survive. The Athlete's Foot, the shoe shop, I don't know of anyone that says, "Oh, I need a new pair of shoes. Oh, I'm going to go to the Athlete's Foot." Like, that's not a thing anymore. Factory, now I know they're owned by Cotton On. I don't think that Factory is doing as well as Cotton On. Even Cotton On has gone downhill a lot lately, so I think they're going to have to cut costs somewhere, and it's going to be Factory. What other businesses do you think are going to go bankrupt within the next 5 to 10 years?
Listen to me when I tell you this. Australia, they want to tax you on your fucking dreams here. How is it that we all have to cop it with this unrealised capital gains? Pretty much the government now wants to take a clip of your money, which you haven't even fucking made yet. How the fuck does that make sense? I'm gonna explain it in the most simplest way possible. You bought a house for $1 million, the market value is now $1.2 million. They want to tax you on that difference, the $200K, money that you haven't even fucking seen yet, hasn't even gone into your fucking pocket. They want to tax you. You can fuck off with that, bro. This woke Labour government is taking the piss. What is the definition of unrealised tax anyways? It doesn't even fucking exist. It's an imaginary number, there's no fucking profit, there's no income, and they want to tax you on it. Mate, this isn't policy, this is fucking dead set daylight robbery if you ask me.
Having dinner last night with a portfolio manager with $10 billion under management, and what he told me about the Australian economy really blew my mind. So about 10 years ago, Australia invested about $120 million into early stage companies. Last year, it was $12 billion. Now, when you hear that, you probably go, "Oh, that's really good, it's a big increase." That only equates to 1.68% of the Australian economy, or the GDP. To put that in perspective, that is less than the state of Colorado itself. So when you think about the tech hub of America, you probably don't think about Colorado, and that just gives you a signal to show you how little we spend. And what he was talking about is the kind of crisis that we're looking ahead to. Australia is built on the lucky country, so the mining boom that's been happening over many, many decades. But that is starting to come to an end. And so this fund is looking to essentially pioneer the ecosystem of the Australian entrepreneurship landscape, because they see the tap is running out from mining, and they're starting to get nervous that not enough is being invested from the government standpoint to early stage businesses who can make a true impact into our economy.
Go woke, go broke. It's funny you say that, because majority of the great innovators of regenerative agriculture found their new methods in a time of economic struggles. They were in times where, natural disasters occurred, and they quite simply did not have the money to continue doing things the way they were. So they changed. They started to treat their soil as an asset which they want to improve, rather than a resource that's readily available to them. So as their soil improved, so did their profits. If you go ask any conventional farmer, are you putting on less fertilizer? They will 100% say no, because although they may not realize it at the time, they're slowly degrading it, and they slowly have to add more and more.
When people earning over $200,000 are still feeling the pinch, do you wonder why? I know it comes down to the fact that they've likely adjusted their cost of living each time they got a pay rise, rather than putting it toward things that actually help their financial future. So if you get a pay rise, are you just going and spending that on an extra dinner, or putting it toward holidays every year? Or are you putting it toward further debt repayments, or investing it into the shares or your super, or something toward your financial future? A lot of people tend to adjust their cost of living each time they get a pay rise, so they're constantly feeling the pinch, because as well as them just spending it on other discretionary expenses, they're not actually adjusting for inflation in other areas, like the fact that interest rates on mortgages are changing and the cost of living is going up. So rates are more expensive, gas, electricity, everything's going up. And if they're utilizing their extra cash flow to discretionary spending, they're probably feeling the pinch as a result of that. What do you reckon?
Is anyone else in Australia kind of like, what's the point? If you're maybe like in your 20s, your 30s, and you're not being given things by your parents, and you've gone to uni, you finished school, gone to uni, got a degree, which was meant to get you a good job, and that job was meant to pay for a house and maybe a holiday once a year, and maybe you'd have some kids, and that's like not happening now, and you're kind of just like, what's the actual point of anything? Like, I'm 28, and I kind of thought by now, like, I might have like a 3-bedroom house, maybe like thinking about kids, maybe successful in my career. The screaming you can hear behind me is my landlord's fucking grandkids, because my landlords live right behind me and I live in a tiny fuck-ass studio. And no, I don't live in Melbourne or Sydney. I moved regional to try and save money, and there's no jobs down here. Anyway, it's kind of just made me reassess my whole life. Like, what am I doing? Should I just go traveling? Is the world gonna blow up in like 10 years and none of it matters anyway? Like, what's the general attitude? Because I'm a pretty like A-type person, like to plan everything. I'm just kind of feeling like, fuck it. Like, should I just do what makes me happy? Like, I don't know. Like, what are you guys doing? What are we doing?
Has it just become normal to feel poor in Australia? Like, I went to Woolies today to buy some makeup because I wanted to save money, and Mecca and stuff is a rip-off. So I was like, okay, sure, this is fine. Get to Woolies, start looking at the foundation, and it's like $35, $40 for drugstore foundation. I was like, what is going on? Am I just like, why am I poor all of a sudden? Why is this so freaking expensive? And then I'm like, okay, how long would it take me to work to be able to afford this? Now, for context, I'm 21. I have a full-time job. I'm just finishing uni. I'm not a slacker. I'm smart. I've got a good job. I'm probably earning like an average salary. It would take me, after tax, superannuation, and HEX debt repayments, over 2 hours of work for me to be able to afford a single bottle of foundation from Woolies. What the heck? And then I had a crisis and I was like, am I poor? Like, why do I feel like I'm not able to buy stuff that I used to be perfectly fine to buy on a regular basis? I started digging into the data and I found out that in the last 2 years, our real wages, so that's what we're actually earning once you like deduct inflation, because that actually means you're not able to actually buy anymore, it's just inflation. Our real wages have dropped 9% in the last 2 years. That's why I feel